Okay then guys, we're back inside of Helldivers 2 and we're going to be taking a look at a new major order that's recently just come through the works, bringing some hopium to players' eyes with the new talks of an inline armaments of constructing brand new weaponry. So we'll take a look at what that could potentially mean, as well as a cool top-down camera glitch that's been happening, bringing some nostalgic vibes from HD1, although not intended. Would be pretty cool if it was here. We're going to take a look at everything else we've got happening today, but with that being said, if you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe, post notifications turned on, and check out our sponsor Instant Gaming, the amazing platform to buy your PC, PlayStation, Xbox and Switch games cheaper with an instant 24/7 delivery. So do not miss that one. They've got an awesome Christmas thing going on at the moment where you can open a calendar and get your games even cheaper. Links in the description. Get your games cheaper today. But with that being said, let's dive into the game and see what it is that's happening right now. Starting off, we have a brand new briefing coming from the Ministry of Defense, as it has awarded the multi-trillion super credit contract to AM Defense to explain production of high-quality military equipment for the Helldivers. AM Defense has a proven history of the construction top-of-the-line armaments for CAF line units, and their expansion to providing Helldiver weaponry marks the beginning of an exciting new chapter in the defense marketplace partnership. To begin this new chapter, AM Defenses will construct a massive multi-complex factory hub on Aknar Secundus, creating millions of exciting labor opportunities for Super Earth citizens. However, temperature readings shows an increase in terminate activity in the Jinzi sector and the Sten sector. Seemingly in response to this momentous project that supports the theory of many Terminid experts, the alien race may instinctively sense and attack areas with heavy democratic activity. The Helldivers must protect the investment of our security partners. They are ordered to ensure the construction of the AM Defense Factory Hub on Aknar Secundus continues unimpeded. And your major order is to defend against 4 attacks from the Terminids, a very simple one to do over a 4-day, 3-hour remaining basis, where you just defend the construction of the defense contractor's new factory hub from Terminid evasion. So should be a pretty simple one for the most part, but we'll see how it plays out. Now this is obviously bringing a massive huff of hopium to all players alike. As soon as they read this, they started jumping to Reddit, to Twitter, to Discord, wondering and coping up with exactly what this could mean. We obviously see the words Helldiver weaponry and we get excited straight off the bat. Hopefully this does mean that we're going to receive some new content with some new weapons, but in the same breath, a lot of players are also commenting on these comments, stating that the weapons are useless unless we get some new content coming to the game. I want to know on which side of the fence you guys seem to be sitting right now, so let me know via the comment section below. Are you a move for the new weapons, or are you wanting the new weapons after new content? I think it's a very good question to ask, and I think I'd be intrigued to see what side of the fence you guys sit on. As well as this right here, where there's a cool top-down glitch that seems to have happened, and a Reddit post that received nearly 3,000 upvotes stating, usually if the camera glitches out into the sky, the game becomes unplayable until you die and get reinforced. But this glitch is new to me. It's actually really cool that the game was still totally playable like this. I definitely would love a run around like this for the rest of the mission, and tried a lot of things out if I didn't accidentally fix it by going first person mode. I'd like to find a way of doing this consistently so I could keep messing around with it. And yes, this brought a top-down consensus to the game, and it was actually quite an interesting one to witness. As you guys can see the gameplay, and it really gives a massive nostalgic feel for Helldivers 1 and exactly how it is that used to play out, but with those more high intense graphics, it definitely felt like a much better thing to look at. I think this would be a cool little camera change up and something implemented into the game, although not likely this is going to be something that they fix, as this is just a bug, but I do think that the actual layout for this is pretty damn cool. Let me know what you guys are thinking via the comment section below, and if you'd like to experience this sort of glitch happening inside of your game. I think that I definitely would. As well as that, we have got the Game Awards, which after a few days ago now just announced the 5 nominees for the community 100% selected Game Awards Player's Voice, and unfortunately Helldivers 2 got knocked out in the previous round, leaving Black Myth Wukong, Genshin Impact, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Weathering Waves, and Zoneless Zone Zero as the top 5 to be selected. It doesn't surprise me that ZZZ, WW, and Genshin Impact are up there, as they do seem to hold quite a massive amount of the gaming community, and unfortunately Helldivers did not win this one. Although what they did actually win was the Helldivers that were voted for number 10 in the Times Magazine Game of the Year list, which is still a pretty cool achievement indeed. And Sony seemed to be showing their appreciation to the development team after everybody in Arrowhead Studio managed to get a statue from Sony to say thank you. Now, apparently everyone who worked with Helldivers 2 at Arrowhead has received a statuette as a thank you from the publisher Sony. This figure right here is exactly what you guys can see amongst the award statuettes that were won at the studio. Now, as you can see, they have done really well with a load of awards as well, but this studio statue seems to be looking pretty damn cool, and I'd love for them to actually release this to the general public at some stage or another. And even if they want to keep this one down to development only, if they had something like this of a similar stature, of a collector's edition, of maybe a DLC, I think this one will go quite well. And now we've got some leaks coming from Iron Sights as we start talking about some wildlife. Yeah, I know, a little bit crazy, but we're going to dive on into that. If you don't want to see the leaks, this is the point of the video where you should be leaving. But nonetheless, let's dive on into it. Apparently, there's a leak for a wildlife faction. That's right, not even just wildlife running around, but an actual faction. He states right here, ambient fauna that may spawn on certain planets, faction type wildlife. Now, I have no idea what this means, although apparently there are some multiple voice lines for it, including local fauna identified, possible source of emergency rations. Alien wildlife found. Assessment, adorable. Alien wildlife found and dangerous wildlife. Now, my favorite line there is obviously assessment, adorable. I think it's absolutely hilarious, but nonetheless, to know that that's actually in the in-game files is a little bit of a weird one. We obviously already know of the Terminids and of the automatons, and we know that the Illuminate are going to one day make it to our table, although, again, GTA 6 is probably going to come first. But a new faction type of wildlife would be a really weird one and would actually make a lot of sense, as the wildlife has actually been in the game files for pretty much as long as the game has been alive. It's something that's been there for the most part and would be exciting to see via the game. But we're taking a look at your top comments right now, as I think that you guys hold some really interesting factors most of the time, and I think that we have a very solid comment here that we probably need to respond to and give you guys some context over. This first one right here states, I just want them to let us customize the mannequin on our ships. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, this is this right here, and this is obviously where you can customize your own character with your different armor sorts, weapons, voice lines, and so much more. And hopefully one day they'll allow us to be able to change over and customize the mannequin itself. It's definitely a great input. As well as that, this one right here I think is a really important one. It states, community vote for Cloud to take a break from Helldivers for the rest of the month. Now, as you will notice on the channel, we have started covering a load of other games, including Path of Exile 2 and Marvel Rivals, just to give you guys a bit of a spruce up on different stuff, although we do like to keep you guys in contact with everything happening in Helldivers 2. Although it may not always be the information that you may want, I do like to make sure that we can provide as much as we possibly can. We are going to be taking a day-to-day break from Helldivers 2, and hopefully we'll be able to give you guys as much news as we possibly can as and when it comes up, but it just may mean that Helldivers may not be an everyday thing. We'll have to wait and see exactly how this one pans out, but until then, make sure you check out the channel, because the algorithm will not push these games over to you. It's just the way that YouTube works. Go and check out the content we've got going on with other games right now. And finally, this one right here states, Arrowhead have been telling us to let them cook while little coming from it, so often as I'm starting to wonder if they even have a kitchen. And this does seem to be an outstanding problem as it stands. The fact that they do seem to be cooking quite heavily, we don't see the kitchen and what it is that they're using as ingredients. It'd be nice to see the actual plated meals by the end of this, and although it feels really weird talking in metaphors for this one, I think it stands pretty well known that you guys will feel the same. Nonetheless, unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, post notifications turned on, and please go and check out the content from some of the other games we've been covering. Appreciate you all, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.